Hey Canucks fans, who's going to be the more important player for the Vancouver Canucks going forward? Is it Elias Pettersson or is it Quinn Hughes? I'm Clay Emo. I'm at Canuck Clay on Twitter. I'm at Clayton Emo on Instagram. I'm the founder of the GLCPC, the Good Looking Canucks Positivity Club, and this is my Canucks take all in one take. It's Clay's Canucks commentary for Wednesday, April the 15th. And a quick programming note tonight, hopping on YouTube at 10 p.m. for my twice a week, my semi-weekly live stream. So I hope that you join me tonight to talk Canucks, to talk NHL, to talk about COVID-19, to check in with each other. So please join me tonight, 10 p.m. on YouTube. Been having a lot of fun this week with these Zoom chats. I interviewed Brendan Batchelor on Monday, Jeff Patterson yesterday, or I interviewed these guys before, but that's when I released the videos. Batchelor on Monday, Jeff Patterson on Tuesday. It'll be Al Murdoch tomorrow, and it'll be my season ticket partner, not my partner, my season ticket buddy Jens on Friday. So I've interviewed all four of those guys and had a lot of fun. Of course, this was on the heels of interviewing Vanessa Jang last week, or a couple weeks ago. So it's been great, and I'm having a lot of fun. Just casually, but just getting a chance to know these people a little better, and more importantly, get their insight on what they're good at, a specific niche with it related to the Vancouver Canucks, and of course, knowledge of the Canucks overall. And one question that I've been asking in my six-pack, that's my rapid-fire 6 questions at the very end, is this question: who's going to be more important to the Canucks going forward, Elias Pettersson or Quinn Hughes? And 3 of the 4 have answered it, and one said it was too tough to answer, which was fine. And the 3 that did answer all picked Quinn Hughes over Elias Pettersson. And I was actually quite surprised. And now, I realize this is a first world problem. We are so blessed as Canucks fans to have these 2 guys in our organization. Obviously, Elias Pettersson, 5th overall in 2017. Quinn Hughes, 7th overall in 2018. That's their draft position. And because Quinn Hughes played a few games at the end of 2019, he, the same year that Elias Pettersson played the entire year, they're actually in the same track when it comes to contract negotiations. They're both finishing off their second year, so they have one more year of their 3-year entry-level deal to go. And that's why we keep talking about, how much are they going to make, and when are they going to sign their contracts. But that's for another vlog, and I've talked about that before actually as well. Today, I just want to simply answer that question: is who is more important to the Vancouver Canucks going forward? Is it Pettersson or is it Hughes? And I would say, if I asked this question prior to the start of the season, I think hands down it would be Elias Pettersson. He had just come off winning the Calder Trophy, 66 points in 71 games. Obviously a franchise elite centerman, and who's only going to get better. And he did. He matched his 66 points in only 68 games. So truly a point-per-game player this season, and was dangerous on the power play, even strength, on penalty shots, of course, breakaways, great passer, great vision, elusive, shifty, not the fastest skater ever, but very shifty, and just brilliant, a brilliant hockey mind, a dogged determination, all the things that we love about Elias Pettersson. So yeah, if I asked this question at the start of the season, I don't know if anyone would have picked that Quinn Hughes would surpass Pettersson in importance in many people's eyes. But here we are at the end of the next season, and Quinn Hughes had a rookie season that's deserving of Calder Trophy consideration. Whether or not he'll end up beating Cale Makar, we'll see. But Hughes had 53 points in 68 games. But that's 53 points as a defenseman. That is outstanding. That puts him in the top 5 in defenseman scoring across the league. It gives him one of the most memorable rookie campaigns as a D-man when it comes to scoring. And we saw how important that Hughes was to the team. Not just on power play 1, but a one-man zone exit, a one-man zone entry, just how he was able to walk the line, good edge work, spin off guys in the corner, and really keep so many plays alive with his skill, with his skating, with his vision, with his good hands. So, and we're obviously excited to have him as well. And one thing I was thinking about is the Detroit Red Wings comparison. So stick with me here. I would never say that Quinn Hughes is like Nicholas Lidstrom. Like, they're completely 2 different players. Lidstrom, good skater as well, but much bigger and much more physical for sure. But people have compared Elias Pettersson to Pavel Datsyuk in the past. Just with not the biggest guy, but really good hands, really smart, good, very shifty, all those things, right? Offensive dynamo, mastermind. But if you use that Detroit example, when you think of the best player on those Detroit Red Wing teams that were so dominant more than a decade ago, I don't think you think of Datsyuk. I don't think you think of Zetterberg, although they're really good players. I think you think of Nicholas Lidstrom. At least I do. I think of Lidstrom over the guys like Datsuk and Zetterberg, and even before them, the guys like Shanahan and so on and so forth. So if we take that analogy a little bit, remember, Hughes doesn't play like Lidstrom, but Pettersson does play like Datsuk. But we remember Nicholas Lidstrom as probably the most important player of those Detroit Red Wings teams. So maybe by extension, that lends credence to this argument that Quinn Hughes might be the more important player than Elias Pettersson going forward, if you use that Detroit Red Wings analogy. I think the bottom line is this. You always want an elite centerman, a number one centerman that's gonna be a foundational player. You also want a number one D-man that is going to be an elite and a foundational player. But you could argue two things: that it's harder to find a number one D-man than it is to find a number one center. Although not a lot of teams have really good number one centers. I'll put our top two centers up against not everyone in the league, but many teams in the league, with Pettersson and Horvat as a 1-2 punch. So Pettersson is great. He's awesome. Calder Trophy winner. I love him. I make songs about the guy. But you could argue, that it's harder to find a number one D-man over a number one center. And if you look in the history of the Canucks, you could argue the Canucks have never had a bona fide number one D-man, a true number one D-man, like a pivot that would be considered elite throughout the league. We have had number one centers, whether it's as recently as Henrik Sedin, of course. He was a true number one center. He won trophies. Like, he was that good. And even before that, you could say that some of our guys, you could say that Marcus Naslund was, he's the right winger. We're talking about it was Brendan Morrison. Naslund was the left winger. But I'm thinking in the past, even before Henrik, now that I think about it, actually, I think of all of our guys Smeel was a right winger, Bure was a right winger, Pavel was a right winger, Naslund was a left winger. So now that I think about it, before Henrik, I don't know if we had a true number one center that was elite. So, but at least we have now in Pettersson, and you could argue that we had Henrik, right, before. So at least we had one before, and you can argue about Cliff Ronning and other guys in our past. But with when it comes to D-men, we've never had a number one D, a true number one D. We've had guys that are good. Edler in his prime, Ehrhoff was good when he was here. Matthias Olin was good. Jovo was good. Jyrki Lumi. All these guys were really good players, but would you consider them like number one D-men overall? Like, when you stack them up against number one D-men across the league, they would fall into the bottom half. Whereas Quinn Hughes could be a top 10, top 5 D-men for many, many years. So I think that's another reason why you think that maybe Quinn Hughes would be a more important piece to the Vancouver Canucks than Elias Pettersson going forward. Now, I'm splitting hairs here. I would take both guys on my team. I would take either guy on my team. Obviously, we're lucky here, like I said, that we have both guys on our team. It is indeed a first world problem, but I did want to bring it up because it's a tough question, and I end up putting our my guests on Zoom on the spot a little bit because they don't see those questions unless they've watched a previous vlog before, which they may or may not have. So, but like I said, 3 of the 3 people that have answered so far, small sample size, but all 3 of them had said Quinn Hughes over Elias Pettersson. So kind of fascinating to see. So I'd love to hear your comments, your feedback on that. Do you agree with that? That if you had to pick one, would you rank Quinn Hughes ahead of Elias Pettersson as the most important player for the Canucks going forward? And I've laid out the arguments. If you think Pettersson, you think you need a number one center. We've only really had Henrik as a true number one center before, and he drives everything from ice time, as a forward, even strength, of course, on the power play, put him out there on penalty shots when you have to win the game, or a shootout, I should say, and just overall the way that Pettersson drives play from offense and passing, shooting, skating, setting up plays, and he's a very good defensive player as well. Or do you go with the number one D-man who's going to run our first unit power play, who's going to run our first pairing, of course, have to play against other good forwards, and really the way Hughes plays, the way he's able to break out of the zone and enter the zone at ease and sometimes on his own, and you throw in the history of we truly haven't had a number one pivot in our past. So those are the 2 arguments. I would love to know your thoughts. Again, Quinn Hughes or Elias Pettersson, who is more important to the Vancouver Canucks going forward? Again, first world problem, so I'm not complaining at all. Once again, I invite you to join me tonight, 10 p.m. for my live YouTube live stream, 10 p.m. on YouTube. Please join me there. Bring your friends, or at least tell your friends, actually. And then look forward to my Zoom chats continuing on Thursday with Al Murdoch and on Friday with Jens, my intermission reflection partner. So there we go. Leave a comment below. I'd love to read, react, and reply as always. Subscribe if you like to. Like this video if you like to. Whether you're working or you're studying online or a combination of both like I am, I encourage you to be safe, be healthy, take care of yourselves, and take care of each other. And hopefully enjoy a bit of sunshine. Have a great day. God bless. Go Canucks, go.